Welcome to Turn to Your Neighbor. This is the Christian Talk Show where we talk about the church, music, movies, social media, and a whole lot more. My name is Cliff, and this is Dr. T.
Hi, neighbors.
And this is Big Dre.
What up, neighbors? That came from my toes. That was a solid one right there.
From the depths of your spirit.
Brother, there's a lot of things happening with my spirit tonight. Hey, neighbors, I'm going to be transparent with y'all off the top. There's some things going on my digestive tract right now.
Boy.
And so I'm going to try to make it through the show. But if you see me have to just skedaddle real quick, just know I'm going to be back. I'm going to have to go dark on the screen real quick. And there's a lot of things happening. It was a good salad, though. You know what I'm saying? Salad and turkey burger. But, you know, when all that gets moving, it just clears things out. But, you know, digestive tract health is really an underutilized, under-discussed part of the community. And we just need to start taking care of yourselves. Make sure you all pooping at least once a day.
Yeah, salad and turkey burgers are notorious for messing up your stomach. Yeah.
Hey, man, the salad keeps me moving, brother. You know, get the greens in there. I don't be messing with that iceberg either, man. Get you some real greens either. Romaine, spinach. That iceberg.
You don't know any other lettuces, do you? Arugula.
No, I hate arugula. I ain't gonna lie, I hate arugula. That stuff is nasty. They be trying to mess up some good salads with that, but they do.
Kale.
You put it on cheeses. See, kale makes me curse, and so, people just be eating and seaweed chips. Like, stop. Have you ever seen someone eat a seaweed chip? There's no polite way to eat a seaweed chip. People just crumpling the whole thing, just shove it in their whole face. It'd be the most, but that's okay. I'm back. I'm sorry.
Thank you for doing that before Cliff asked people to share.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's best that we get, that mess out of the way before we invite in company.
This is family. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to, that's just right. We should keep that in the house, but I just wanted to be transparent with the people.
See, the neighbors are already praying for your bowels, praying for your intestines.
Bowels is a wild word when you say it over the airways, but okay, I'm with you.
I'm just telling you what's going on. They out here praying for you. Somebody's praying.
Yeah, Mac, that's right. It's the gas, really. There's a couple air bubbles. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I'm good. Go ahead.
It's all good. Neighbors, I want to thank you for hanging with us tonight. If you just walked in, Dre talking about his bowel movements and his intestinal issues, this part for the course for this show. That's what it is. Appreciate everybody hanging with us tonight. Do me a favor and please share right now. Share, hit the like button, do both, do something. Help us out. Whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, you can share. YouTube, make sure you hit the like button on YouTube. Facebook, you're on your phone at the bottom. There's a bunch of emojis. Come on, hit one of them, hit some of them, do something.
Yeah, this is a good show.
Yo,
I've seen the rundown. It's a great show. This is one to share, I think.
She does her work. Amen.
So every now and again.
Yo, Derek James is coming off the top rope already. We always talking ish on this show. That's true. We are. And now I'm just talking the literal ish. That's all. But we back at it.
I guess that's part of the charm of the show.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Can I give a couple of shout outs? I saw some folks I hadn't seen before. Let me give a shout out to Joyce.
Right. And hello, Joyce.
Oh, that's true. I shouldn't have started off with that. Joyce, this is actually my apologies. Yeah, that's bad. I'm sorry, Joyce. Shout out. She's down at Rothrock Cafe, though. They got good coffee down there. Shout out to Joyce.
Yo, we should totally do a live from Rothrock Cafe.
Okay, okay. I wasn't ready for the excitement that brought.
Yeah, y'all two can be live.
It's local. It's local to us.
Yeah, y'all two can.
I like Rothrock. It's so cute.
I've never actually been in. I know some coffee snobs that swear by that place. And let's be honest, some of y'all are snobs. Some of y'all are doing the most with it.
I'm not.
But yes, they do. They do swear by Rothrock. So shout out to Joyce. Anybody else that I may have missed this. And all our Ghost Watchers, I see y'all. I appreciate you. those who really don't want to engage.
Joyce is like, let's make it happen. Yes. We'll talk, Joyce.
We'll talk off air. We'll talk off.
All I need is a lifetime supply. Every time I go up in, I will wear a Rock t-shirt every show if I can get free coffee.
I will never understand coffee snobbery. Never.
There's levels to this, evidently.
I'll never get it.
People who are very serious about their coffee.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand it, they will look at you like you don't understand it. Like, what's wrong with you? And so it's just, for me, I just stick with something from Dunkin's that is sugary and sweet, and it's probably not even coffee by the time I drink it. That's okay. That's okay.
No, I'm not a snob. I'm not one of those people who will like wait in the Starbucks line for, 30 minutes.
Is Starbucks even coffee at this point? All the stuff they putting in there.
I don't get paid that much money for something I can make in my house. I'm not a coffee drinker anyway, but it's something I can easily make in my house. So it all tastes the same to me.
Yo, I love Joyce's energy. She's giving me all the energy I need right now.
Right.
She just told us if you know. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't.
I feel like Rock is that ideal blend. It's not intimidating when you go in there. The people are friendly. See, I'm working this, folks. People are friendly. You might see Coach Franklin in there. That's happened to me a few times.
Oh, that's his spot.
He's a regular.
Okay.
You can get some work done. People are nice. It's just I like you can have a meeting. You can have not a meeting, not a work meeting. It's nice.
Okay. This is evidently a bigger topic than I realized because people have thoughts and opinions. Once again, I've hijacked the show. My apologies, Cliff. You have a program set up.
It's all good. The people
like I factor in your randomness
pretty much. People, I started doing that a long time ago. people get hyped about their coffee. I guess I don't get it.
Okay, it's a real thing. I could use some coffee right now. It would clear this whole situation out. Coffee is good for your system.
It really is.
Once again, digestive tract health. It's important, people. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
It's all good. So the first thing I want to talk about, the Barna Research Group, it's a Christian research company. So they did a study on multicultural churches and what the study and basically how the dynamics of multicultural churches especially affect Black people. So Black people who attend multicultural churches, and so they were trying to find out, is this a good thing for Black people? What kind of issues, what kind of challenges were Black people having attending multicultural churches? And here's some of the stuff they found. 29% of Black people that attend a multicultural church have experienced some type of racial prejudice.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And compared to 11% of Black people have experienced some type of racial prejudice at a non-multicultural church. So like if you're Black, you go to predominantly Black church, 11% of those people have experienced some type of prejudice.
I'm about to say we wasn't exactly batting zero at Black churches because
no.
It just look at that dark skin and light skin.
Yeah, we still ain't over the dark skin.
A lot of stuff that gets said inside that Black church. Yeah,
we still ain't over that. More than 1/4 of Black practicing Christians feel some type of pressure to give up part of their racial or ethnic identity in a multicultural church. That's about 27%. And finds it difficult to build relationships.
Interesting.
Yeah, so those are some of like the major points from the study.
Did it say this is nerd talk now? Excuse me. Did it say how they are defining multicultural church?
More than multiple races, so more than one.
Okay, I
so
guess.
It's not predominantly, but I think those churches tend to be predominantly white. Actually.
Yeah, these churches are predominantly white, but they
just have numbers
of other races. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And one more thing, I found that Christians of color often face barriers to sharing their opinions, whether as a congregant or even as a leader. So even if the multicultural organization brings in leaders of color, these individuals are not given authority or ability to make change.
Yo, Cliff, what are we doing?
This is good.
This is the research, man.
I think this is important.
And listen, like we talked on the show before. I had no problems being part of a multicultural. I actually sought. I went out and looked for multicultural churches to join.
The one name churches, right?
Huh?
One name church.
Yes, exactly. One name, and then second word church. Yes.
Right. That's
what I was looking for.
Life.
Yeah.
Substance,
transformation, restoration,
renewal.
Yes. Courageous. Like any kind of word, first and then second word church. That's what I was looking for.
But
I think that, so I have some stories because I was raised in a predominantly Black church that is in the Black church tradition. So I think there's sort of different things. You have like newer churches that are predominantly Black, but aren't necessarily designed in the tradition of the Black church, right? And then you have like, if your church had, as opposed to one name, 50.
Yeah.
Those would be the traditional Black. That's the Black church tradition. So I grew up in one of those.
Yeah.
Before we came somewhat new agey, because my dad started a different church. But in the multicultural churches, this happened within the last few years. One woman, are y'all hearing me echo?
Yep.
I'm hearing the echo. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take my mic out. Somebody else talk.
It is. Okay, it's an interesting thing.
Okay.
Now I hear my echo. Hey, neighbors, if y'all hear our echo, let us know. If not, we're gonna keep on rocking. It is an interesting pattern. I have been a part of. I went to a school, elementary school, that was a church attached to what would almost be seen as, I don't know if they're a multicultural church. I don't know, but there were multicultures in there. Multiple cultures in there. So it was ethnicities in there. And it was a very interesting thing. I have always felt in some of those experiences as if, yes, I can just tell the difference. I didn't necessarily always feel as at home, but I don't know if I ever experienced anything that was directly related to racism or anything surrounding my experience with inside of the church. I wonder if this was based around something that's more like recent, or this was a recent study that was done, and to see what even the political climate that had been over the last several years inside of this nation, if that brought some things to the forefront. Okay, I can't hear Cliff now.
Could be because I have my mic on mute.
Okay,
that's why. Because I was checking the stream to make sure you were all good. So it makes me think. Is this? And this was a recent study. This study came out in April of this year. It makes me think: should Black people look to go to multicultural churches, or should we just stay with our quote unquote own kind?
Yes.
Yes. What?
Stay with your own kind.
You think we should stay with our own kind?
Yo, hit me with that. So
Austin Channing, she wrote that book, I'm Still Here.
Mm-hmm.
And in that book, one of the things she talks about is like, if you are around white people all day, every day for your job, maybe you don't want to sing.
Yes, I can say I have seen that. I have seen that. I have seen Black people not excited about fellowshipping with white people after being with them all week.
So it's not about white people. It's just about wanting to be around Black people.
I need to bow out real quick. I'm gonna be right back.
Is he bowing out because of his stomach or because of the topic? But I mean, I don't see. The thing is that we're gonna all be together at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Now, either we together here or we together in heaven. But one way or another, we all gonna be together.
But race won't exist in heaven.
So you saying we should just be separate? Sunday should still continue to be the most segregated day.
Not segregated. If people choose to gather with their fellow, race brethren.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't think people have to see it as when Black people are doing it, especially because they're not in the majority, or when Latinx people are doing it, or people who primarily speak a different language. You know, I've been around like Korean churches. It's not about them. It's not an antagonistic posture towards white Christians. It's about a purposeful community-ness with,
Mm-hmm.
It's about purposefully fellowshipping with people who share your culture. That's all.
Okay, but if our goal is for our society to change the way that people of color are treated and to change the way people of color are perceived, shouldn't that change begin in church? And if we are not exposed to different races, how can we effectively change our thinking as it relates to that race?
There's other ways to expose yourself to other races.
Okay, but if we can't do it in the under the umbrella of worshiping together, what hope is there for, if we can't worship together, what hope is there for working together and, you know, all this other stuff, like working in the professional world? Like what hope is that if we can't accomplish worship?
But I don't think that I think it's a lot easier for somebody to say praise Jesus to you and hallelujah next to you on Sunday. Those same people will be all up in their microaggressions Monday through Friday. So I have directly experienced that. So I don't think that it necessarily helps, especially because these churches tend to still be predominantly white. And they tend to be, I had a conversation like this at a multicultural church that was predominantly white. I told the pastor, I said, you are culturally a white church. Even though they had Black people in leadership, even though there were various races of people in the pews, the worship songs were white.
Exactly.
The themes, sort of how they approached their style of worship, of preaching, of doing things. When they would invite guest speakers, those people were usually white. It was a culturally white church.
That just happened to have Black people. Exactly. Yeah.
So nothing changes when you have that.
So Max said, if a person of non-color goes to a Black church, is it then multicultural? I would define multicultural as if you have multiple people of a different race than the majority. So not just one Black person or one Black family, but if you have multiple Black families, then I would say you have a multicultural church. Or multiple white families and a predominantly Black church, I would consider that multicultural.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's the challenge with a lot of this blending, is that we are the ones, and I can't find a better term, but from what I've seen, it's the Black people who are the ones who have to compromise in this agreement. Compromise is probably not the best word, but we're the ones who have to change assimilate, exactly, because they're not going. White churches aren't. They're not going to change their music because you get an influx of Black people or people who identify as Latin. They're just going to keep doing what they do, and you just got to get used to it. They're not going to sing stuff that you might know.
I went to one church in Minneapolis, though. They had 3 pastors. 2 were white, 1 was Black. They took turns preaching, different Sundays, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But one of them was like the main guy. But the other 2 pastors were very visible. And they had a gospel Sunday where all they sang was like traditional. Well, it wasn't traditional gospel. It was like Kirk Franklin. But that was their way of saying, this is where we sing Black people songs without saying this is where we sing Black people songs. They literally called it they literally called it Gospel Sunday. Oh, yeah. So I thought that was a very interesting model. We still couldn't, it was still too culturally white for us. But
yeah. It's tough because having, like I said, I've said before, I've experienced the multicultural thing. And the thing that I appreciate about, I'll say white churches, predominantly white churches, is that you get church without a lot of the extra fluff. You get church with a lot of extra, what I see is unnecessary stuff.
You mean on Sundays? Like
on Sundays, yes.
Yeah, sure.
The service you get.
Because they got to get you out for the next service.
Well, but even when I've been there and there's only one service, they still not taking forever. You still don't have everybody and their mother saying stuff. Like if somebody's supposed to come up and do something, they get up, they do their job, and they sit down. They don't get up and they feel the need to preach, and then before the preacher and all this other extra stuff. So I think it's stuff that we could, as a Black church culture, there are things we could take from the white church culture or borrow. That would probably be more appealing to people who feel the need to cross over, quote unquote, cross over into the multicultural, traditionally white church side.
I actually have.
Why are you raising your hand?
I had a point. I had something. It was actually a different point of view. I took some time to think while I was handling my business. For me, it was an interesting thing. I grew up in a very white town. I went to one of the two predominantly Black churches that were in the town. For me, church was a point of cultural identity and learning myself and learning. And this was one of the few places that I saw people of color, particularly Black people, in charge. I got to understand the idea of Black doctors, Black doctorates, Black lawyers, and so it did a lot more for me than it was about much more than just developing my spirit as a Christian. It was really about developing my identity as a Black man, and so that's where a lot of that was very important to me, and that was one of the things that I'm thankful to my family for the choices that they made in terms of the service that they went to. What's interesting is even when I was younger, I would have friends I have Black friends that would go to the other church and they would come visit us, and you would see their faces just like light up. You're like, oh. And there were even some kids who would just come to the church. Their parents would go to other churches, but they would come to our church just because it was just something that they were seeking, or they would disappear for a while, but then they would come back and like, yeah, man, I just had to get in and I just had to, I just had to see everybody. It's like they need to recharge, they need to tap in and plug into something. And so it's a bit of a different experience,
right?
But it was something that was very important to my identity, who I was and who I am. Because I can speak to very specific things about what I was taught. Like I was exposed to a concept of Saturday school through the people in my church. If anybody understands what Saturday school is where you are, it's extra schooling. And in it, we were basically talking about Black history, things that weren't being taught inside the schools. It was a very big thing. It is something that was one of the few organizational points for people of color. That's so political. I'm so trained. It was for Black people in this town, and so it was very important to me.
I agree with that.
All right, I want to get to two of the neighbors' comments. Natalie says that the development of the Americanized church at its essence has yet to deal with true roots. We can't truly exemplify heavenly unity until we deal with that. We can't truly be the church and show the world how to do this until we can uproot those demons. I completely agree. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then Paris he's referencing the comment I made about the extra fluff, I'm assuming, at church. Mm-hmm. And so Paris says the fluff is important to our traditions, but the church is really the only place where Black folk could speak up and be in leadership positions during the week. I understand that. I think, and I totally get that. I'm going to be honest. A part of it is because I've grown up in that, And now I'm older now, and my tolerance for that is a lot less. Once you realize that you can still have church without all that other stuff, my tolerance for it is a lot less. And that's probably just my personal thing. Like, I don't need that extra stuff anymore.
I think there's a way for predominantly Black churches to offer different styles. I think that, I've been to churches that have like an expedited service, if you will, where it's like a 1 hour thing, max 90 minutes, and it's at a specific time. And if you got to go, like, that's the one you go to. Yeah. And then you got the one where basically every other Sunday, the Holy Spirit takes over, and we may get to the sermon or we may not. And we may do, and it's like that kind of thing. And sometimes you have one of those days and you want to do all of that. Sometimes you're not. I do think there are so many complications. I think we sort of live life differently. We live life much more fast paced. We are working. Sometimes I'm working on a Sunday. Unfortunately, like I feel like I have different pressures as a professional and as a mom than my parents had. And so I think that they had more time there was just a different appreciation. Your boss don't care if it's Sunday. Mm-hmm. You say some bosses don't. And I'm not saying that. I mean, I have more autonomy now in the role that I'm in, but for the most part, our work week doesn't necessarily end at a hard Friday at 5, right? Or 6 or whatever. A lot of us are working under different circumstances. So I think that's real. Like, we need to be able to accommodate the range of lifestyles. But at the end of the day, what is important for us, and when we decided to stop going to a multicultural church and go to a predominantly Black church, it was because it was after Charlottesville happened. And we were like, we're raising a Black boy in a very white town. I think the town is like 2% Black. He needs a day where he's not the only person.
Right.
Yeah.
He needs a day where he's not the only person, where he's in the majority, where almost everybody looks like him, and he can see a range of people, because we also don't live near our, like blood family, our relatives. So it's not like he's with cousins and all that kind of stuff, aunts and uncles regularly. So going to a Black church is important for us because it's where it's the only place in our town, in a sense, where we get cultural community. Yeah. And cultural community that's aligned with our values. We have other communities of Black people that we rock with who don't necessarily share our faith beliefs. And so it's important for us to get all of that and to expose our kids to all of that and to know, like, okay, he could go over such and such house, and I know there ain't nothing too foolish going on over there, because if it is, I'm telling pastor. You know what I'm saying? You need to have that just as a parent. That was real important for us. And so I think that anybody listening who is not Black, who might be tempted to read this in an offensive way, this conversation, I would say just keep thinking about that. It's not to be in a place where you are in the minority all the time is exhausting. And it's about us getting some relief. It's not about us saying this is better. It's just different, and about getting some relief. Yeah, I think
you want to be around people who can understand you on a different level. Dre, I'll let you have the last word before we move on.
And I want to be clear, this is not just about Black people. There are other cultures and races that think are doing the same thing. There's a State College Korean church. Like, there are people who are being very blatant and saying, no, this is what we're doing over here. Yeah. This is the population we serve. And so it is an important thing to understand that
you know what I just thought about when you said that? I know I'm interrupting your last word.
Go ahead.
What do you think Okay. Do they serve food after church at the Korean church?
Okay.
And what do they serve? And is there like a bring a neighbor, friends, and family Sunday? Because I'm trying to get up.
Yo, that's true.
This is a goal of mine.
Now
my goal.
I don't know if after every service, but I'm sure they have times when they serve
for
food.
Friends and Family Day. Invite me.
This is a real thing. This is a real thing because I know folks who would come to our church, and if there was a meal on that day, minds would be blown. That's before we started buying the chicken from the store because
Walmart chicken.
I think Walmart chicken is better than what people want to say, but I'm not going to get into this.
That's a whole other show.
Walmart chicken's more hitting than people really want to get into. They know how to handle their yard bird.
Yes,
but I'm gonna leave that alone though. But yes, it's not just Black folks who are doing this. It is always important to remember the community, what historically the church has meant, especially to Black people in America. It served more than just a religious foundation. It was a community. And so if you really think about it historically, some of the fluff that we see nowadays, hour-long announcements, is because they were announcing what was happening for the entire community for that week and what had happened. You know what I mean? And so it was, as we have become a more fast-paced and more streamlined society, that doesn't necessarily fit in as well, but it represented so much more at one point in time. I don't know why I got so serious so quick.
That's all right. That's all right. So we could probably talk the rest of the show about this. We're gonna move on.
Right.
And we're gonna have a little fun. All right, I want y'all to check this out. So
can I get quick timeout?
Go ahead.
I need to go to Mac's comment. Can I get Mac's last comment?
To Walmart chicken?
Yeah. So if we're going out of 5, he's saying Walmart chicken has 3 oils. For those of you who don't know, we have oil rankings over here. 0 to being no oils, it ain't worth nothing. 5 oils being that's the oiliest. That's next to holiness. 3 oils is a solid ranking. I would lean more towards 3.5.
Yeah, but I think 3.5 is fair.
I think 3.
It depends on the Walmart.
It depends. 3 oils is a solid ranking.
You know what makes Walmart worse? What you have to go through to get your stuff.
Really? I've never. You go there, you order it, and then you go pick it up. Like I've never had.
It depends on who's in there.
Oh, okay. So Walmart chicken is good enough for you to not want to cook yourself. Right. So it's good enough for you to just say, "Oh, I'll just do it. I'll just get it from Walmart." It's good enough.
You see, I got 2 people we got to hit real quick. We got to hit your mother, what she just said, because that was real.
No, I said Walmart chicken is okay because we still cook greens and you can't get the size from Walmart.
Oh, we're gonna cook the accoutrement. Yeah, we're gonna cook the size. And Joy
other races do that. Just Black people. Well, we'll get it depends. Everybody has their go-to chicken place, but we will buy the fried chicken and then cook all the sides.
Yep. Because the frying can cost us to do too much. Can we recognize Joyce's last comment? Because it was an important answer that I think we all need to recognize.
I'm here for it, Joyce.
Joyce, let us know.
Okay. Joyce said, I used to go to a Chinese Alliance church and we had food after church every Sunday and everybody's invited.
We need the specific name and address and the first Sunday that we can come.
And I think it is actually called the Chinese Alliance Church.
That's what it's called.
Yeah. Now here's the question when we're going to get a little potentially, it's called Chinese Alliance Church. They call it Chinese Alliance Church. Here's where we get a little questionable. Was this culturally relevant food? Because if people come in there with the Papa John's,
I got to remember.
I don't want it.
Chinese food is different than the Chinese American food.
Exactly.
I'm here for it.
I'm here for it.
That we get from the Chinese restaurants on the corner.
Like y'all jokers eating these wontons. These cream cheese ones. That's not even us over here.
I only eat at Chinese places where I see other Chinese people eating.
Exactly. Yeah. There was one spot like that up here. I found out there was a secret menu that was specifically reserved for people who like either spoke Chinese or they were international students or like they knew how to order from this menu and they got the good stuff.
Okay.
Place down.
I'm sorry. Joyce has answered your question. She says, yes, there's a Chinese alliance here too, but I went to one that was in Tampa and it was Chinese food. The aunties and uncles on teams weren't joking around.
Let's go.
There you go.
Let's go. Joyce, we will just, between Rothrock and now learning this, we're going to talk to you later, Joyce. Joyce, welcome to the neighborhood.
Well, and she says, and yes, her family cooks their own sides. We're Bruneian, excuse me if I mispronounced that, Chinese, and have our own fixings. There
Joyce,
you go.
We have so much. Joyce, you may have to get on the air at some point. We have a lot to talk about. No matter
what your culture is, some things are universal.
All right, brother, let's go.
I want y'all to check this out. We're gonna do something fun. So today on Twitter, something was trending. They show this picture, and if you can't see it, I'll read all these groups. But it was trending on Twitter. You got to pick 4 of these somewhat well-known R&B groups. And so I'm going to read from that. This is one of the easiest pick one things I've ever seen in my life. Okay. Right, the easiest. But I'm going to read it for our audio listeners. You have from the top left to right. You have Total, TLC, 702, SWV, In Vogue, Escape, Destiny's Child, Brownstone, Changing Faces, Zayn, Jade, 3LW, Black, Danity Kane, Cut Close, and Allure. I already know. I only really need 3. I don't even need 4. I'll take 3 of them and get rid of the rest.
It's that third, fourth.
It's the fourth.
It's the fourth that people are gonna.
It's the fourth.
That's gonna be the most.
Because I don't know if y'all want to go first. Or y'all want me to go.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I would say Destiny's Child, TLC, In Vogue, and then you could throw the rest of them. I could care less about the rest of them. They're all fine singers. Fine.
I'm only with you on 2. I'm only with you on 2.
Okay. Here we go. Let me just say this. Before y'all get into any type of Destiny's Child Beyonce hate.
Okay.
Let me just get my thing out of the way.
Go ahead.
I'm with Cliff.
Okay.
Plus SWV.
Okay.
The 3, the 4, the 3, the easy 3 for me is Destiny's Child, TLC, and Escape. Why do I say Escape? Candy Burst wrote a lot of music for a lot of people.
What we're talking about Escape. We're talking about
my concern is if she disappeared, does her music that she produced over the years disappear?
I don't care. Vocally, In Vogue wipes the floor with Escape.
Exactly.
It wipes the floor.
I was never a fan of In Vogue.
In Vogue is like
Vogue is like Jordan versus a kid playing.
If you're gonna ask me, I would take SWV before In Vogue. No. That's just me. And let me put this bit of craziness out here that people don't really like to address. That Danity Kane is not the last group on this list. That album was a bop. That first Danity Kane album was a bop. They're higher up on this list than what people want to talk about. I'm gonna back out. I'm not gonna say anything after that. But I'm just saying that they're higher up on this list than people want to talk about.
I'm telling you, after I pick my 3, I could care less what happens to the rest of them.
I don't know what some of these groups are.
I cut close. I don't
cut close.
Jade,
you know you were my other baby. Did a joint with T Sweat. Got me twisted, girl. You got me twisted over you. No.
So Natalie says, are we talking purely voices hits or lasting style for the culture? I think you wrap all 3 of them up and you make your choices.
Brownstone, never a big fan of Brownstone.
What is up with the In Vogue? Can y'all just YouTube In Vogue?
I was never.
My goodness.
You got it. So Destiny Child, I think everybody agrees. Destiny Child is pretty much a no-brainer, right?
Yep.
TLC is the most transformative group here. Like they did things differently than everybody else here.
Yep.
So you got to include them. And then I think vocally, I'm not sure any other group can touch In Vogue.
As a group, I agree with that.
Oh, I'm vocally, about to say we're gonna talk about this one. You
vocally
just said
as a collective unit,
as a
group. Yes,
that's absolutely true. There are individual members,
people, yeah,
but as a collective. And I guess it depends on which In Vogue. But
and which Destiny's Child you talking about? Because you're gonna make me slander Michelle. Like just because. Anyway.
Stop it! Don't do that to Michelle. Destiny Child was hot when Michelle was even in the group too. Don't.
Yeah.
So how you just going to clearly say they're vocally better?
No, I'm not saying that. Huh?
Kelly
did nobody say she couldn't sing?
And if Michelle can sing, Destiny Child gotta be up there.
Have you heard? I'm talking about as a group. Have you heard the stuff In Vogue was doing collectively as a group?
Yes, I did. Unfortunately, yes, I had some In Vogue cuts. Yes, I don't know.
They could do like a cappella.
They
They could do what do you call that? Is that a cappella that they do on
with no music?
Y'all know that movie where they do all the parts with their mouth. The movie Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, acapella. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, acapella group. Yeah. Yes, that's the right word. In Vogue can do that.
Coco is nice, yo. Coco is nice. SW.
But their individual the lead singer of Brownstone,
right,
is nice. There's people on every group.
Yeah, there's nice singers in every group.
I don't know.
I mean, there has to be a strong person in every group. I wonder if we could have like a master group and hand pick.
How many you looking for? 4 or 3?
5.
I don't know.
Check too many ways.
I don't know all the individuals.
If the white boys can do 5 in sync.
That's a valid point.
Why can't black women do 5?
Come to check so many ways. So top 5
individual singers from a super group.
You have to, obviously you're going to have to give me Beyonce. Here's one I don't think most people are going to really realize. I want Left Eye in that group because she could spit better than anybody on this list.
She's probably the only one that can spit.
Yeah.
Her lyrics was nice. And here's what people going to get me off. They're going to call me crazy. T-Boz. T-Boz's voice was very unique.
It was.
So you formed a super group and you're going to take T-Boz and
2 TLC members. Yep.
Well, then
and that lose you
gotta have the TLC sound. Then right now you're saying your group is going to be the TLC sound with Beyonce and two other women with 3 other women with T-Boz and Left Eye. Because you can't take T-Boz and then do Never Gonna Get It or What a Man.
So who is that? Terry is the main singer of In Vogue, Cliff. I don't know all their names.
Me neither. That's okay. When you started going down this road, I said I'm not qualified to be.
I think that Kristen Coco, yes. Beyonce, yes. I don't need anyone from Danity Kane. I'm sorry.
Well, Dawn can sing.
Dawn can sing.
She can sing. I just don't need anybody from Danity Kane. Not when I have
Tasha.
The main person from Total was good too.
Who's Tasha?
I think Tasha's out of Escape, right?
Yeah, I think that's Escape.
She was the yeah.
Now Brownstone, if you look at the picture, the one on the far right.
Yeah, that was the main singer.
That's the main singer? Okay, because she was the one that was on Martin. She did the episode of Martin where she ripped it.
She's a great singer, but she has a bad attitude, or at least she did on TV.
All right. So
that was fun.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Well, since that led me to think of this. What happens if we did a gospel version? And unfortunately, I can't. You can see if there's any I left out, but so you got to choose 2, and this is even easier than the last one. You got to choose 2 from this list of gospel groups.
Yo, Ramaya, what you know about Ramaya? You don't even know nothing about Ramaya.
And
this is hard.
This is super easy.
Super easy.
Super easy. You take Mary and the Clark sisters,
and then you just walk away.
You walk away because some of these other groups don't even have more than one album. Number one.
Yeah,
this is true.
You just gotta take those 2 and walk away.
Now
I really like Trinity 5-7.
I love Trinity 5-7. The thing that made me sad is I can't think of any more female groups. I think this is it.
No, there's more.
Who am I forgetting?
I don't know.
There's definitely more. There's that group, yeah, but in terms of established, I would say the Clark sisters and Mary Mary are probably the most established.
Now Trinity 5-7 has some bangers.
But they only had like one. They had one big album and then another album that I think wasn't so great, and then
I ain't gonna lie to you. Trinity 5-7 and Ramaya, them sisters was fine. Shout out to both Trinity 5-7 and Ramaya.
Trinity 5-7 was Mary Mary before Mary Mary. Like Trinity 5-7, they were the it female group.
Because Ramaya was J Moss.
Right? No, Ramaya was Matthew Knowles' group.
Oh yeah, they were.
Beyonce had that gospel label. He had Ramaya and he had Michelle Williams' first album.
Yep.
Yes. And Ramaya had that one song, "Turn It Out," that was hot, but then they went away.
He was keeping them all there just in case Michelle didn't work out in Destiny's Child. He needed to plug somebody else in.
But I couldn't think of another female group. I tried. I scoured online. I couldn't think of another female gospel group.
Man. Yo, the Pace Sisters, shout out. Who was the original group that Maddie Moss Clark and Shirley Caesar was in?
Are you talking about the Caravans?
Yeah.
Ah, my brother. See, I knew somebody who said the Caravans. Okay. The Caravan. I found out basically the Caravans are like the gospel Avengers. Everybody in the gospel cinematic universe at one point was a caravan. Okay. Men, women, James Cleveland, like people just took turns on that joint. So the Caravans are not an all-female group, even though they had Dottie, Inez and Shirley Caesar and Albertina Walker. Yeah. But yeah, it was some guys in the Caravans before. Yeah. Like I said, they were the gospel Avengers.
At one point, yeah.
They were the gospel Avengers.
I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that I could tell you any Caravan songs.
Yeah. But I mean, this was unfortunately, like none of these groups are still a group. Maybe the Pace Sisters, but like
no, the Clark Sisters are still there.
Yeah, but there's no more even R&B. Like the female group is fading away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, just the group in general, because nobody wants to cut that check up, but just make everybody
because the record companies make it so tiny in the first place.
Or nobody wants to deal with other people.
Yep, exactly. That's part of it.
That too.
Yo, shout out to Mary Mary. Amen.
Yeah. So this one was easier than the first one, I think.
Yeah. That's actually a good. Now, you know what will be interesting to do one of these, and don't do groups, just do individual vocalists. That'll start a fight. That will start a fight.
I feel like we've done versions of that.
We've done versions of it. Put them on the screen and have them.
That makes a difference where you can see it.
Yep, that'll start a fight. Because sometimes people forget slip in my mind. Brother, that was good. That was good right there.
Yeah, that was fun.
I don't mean no disrespect to Michelle. Michelle is an excellent singer. She's a very good singer.
Who are you responding to? The critic in your head? Okay.
No, I just some of the people let me know there will be no Michelle Williams slander. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So I'm no disrespect to Michelle. Michelle, we'd love to have you on.
Mm-hmm. Talk about mental health with us, sis.
I wasn't ready. We're here. Let's go.
She has a book about that.
I don't know why it just hit me.
I want to show y'all something real quick, and then we're gonna just about be done. So I think I'm probably the only person, probably one of the few people on the show or in the neighborhood who has this issue. So have you ever been singing your song, right? Mm-hmm. Just, the Lord moves you, the song comes in your heart, you start singing. Mm-hmm. I'm probably one of the few people who lives with someone who will absolutely wipe the floor with them when it comes to singing. Like absolutely destroy me when it comes to singing. So here I am just singing my song, but then this person I live with that can sing 80 times better jumps in. And then what's the point of me singing if you sound a million times better than me, right?
We ain't asked for that. Maybe it was
I'm just trying to live and have my good time. You in the car and you just sing with me, sing 80 times better than me. That's just self-esteem, just a little bit, just a little.
You know? Just support you silently. See, sing, baby. That's all you gotta do. We ain't asked you to kick a note too.
No, so this is my pain. Well, something like that happened to this brother in church. I want y'all to check it out. I don't know if you can hear it. He was trying to sing Turn It Around, but someone in the audience was out singing my man. And he wasn't too happy about it.
First of all, from what I heard of him, he needed the help. You know what I'm saying? He may have been trying to have a moment, but obviously the Lord told her to step in on that particular moment. And it is the look of shock that was on his face that she had the audacity to outsing me from.
Look at that. That was too much.
Yeah, his spirit was off. That's why he needed, take a seat. Take a seat, sir.
Exactly.
Your spirit is off. And so are your vocals. So go ahead and take a seat. And she just had to take care of it right there.
All right, this last one. I don't know if this is a joke or this is real, but I'll play it and y'all can decide for yourself.
Because I gotta go through new. I gotta go, and my hair is pinned on good, so it ain't going. Oh, bless his name. I'm not gonna start tonight because I'll give the interpretation, and then this will go into a whole new live. But anyway, I gotta join his church. I gotta go through the proper steps because I gotta go through new.
So yeah, I don't know if it's real or if it's fake, but you could decide.
Can somebody tell me who she is? Because I've been seeing this all over the internet, and I'm not sure if it's real or if it's fake as well. And I've been wondering who she is or what she's doing. And who is this player that just came over and touched?
I don't know, just randomly.
I hope they know each other like that. That's all I have to say.
The balloons make me think maybe it is real because maybe it's some kind of special thing like with her going live. The first thing I thought was like, keep y'all aunties off live, please. This is, we've had some curious things coming from aunties in this COVID season. And it's just like, live isn't for everyone. Once you put it on the internet, it's out there. It's not just gonna go to your followers. Like, come on. That wig has gotta go.
All right, my brother. Huh? What happened?
This isn't a rant. See, I was gonna get.
You want me to go back to the video?
If you can even mute her. What constitutes a good wig? Because and this is coming from somebody who doesn't know. And it's an honest question. What constitutes a good wig?
First,
go ahead.
It should look like hair.
Okay.
I mean, that sounds funny,
right?
But like, that's a very basic. It is hard sometimes to find because wigs are expensive. That's the other thing. I don't wear wigs, but like my girls who do, they get their wigs custom made.
Yeah.
They, this is so you're buying the hair, which is already hundreds of dollars. Then you're getting it custom made, right? And to Chris's point, because it needs to fit your head and stuff. This is a serious thing. I don't think that looks like hair. And I feel like that's just the most basic of it all. Just do your hair or put on a hat or something. Your like okay hair is gonna look better than a bad wig. Right. And so when you see people going or look, like walking around, oh my gosh, this has made me think about somebody who I found out was wearing a wig. I can't do it, but I can't go there. I cannot go there. But I just thought I got the visual. Sometimes it's like they face over here, but the wig over here, just no.
It's and I have seen the process. Thank goodness for the interwebs. Like there's an actual measuring of the head, and people will put the little underlay on it, and they will measure and mark your head off, and it's a whole different thing. And like some of my students have told me they make wigs from their dorms, and it's a process. It's a process, but it's just I don't understand why there is just such a difference level sometimes.
I don't think her wig is that bad. I wouldn't have noticed it if you didn't say anything. But again, I'm not the most observant when it comes to wigs.
Even
I wouldn't have noticed.
And she has 3 bundles of.
That's what makes it think like maybe it's supposed to be a joke. I don't know.
Because of the wig.
Can you get Mac, please? Can you get Mac?
She has 3 bundles of Peruvian cat hair.
Yeah.
Also, what Derek James said is hilarious.
Derek said that wig came with a Rick James leather jacket for Party City.
Right. So if it looks like something you would wear for Halloween, you should not wear it seriously.
Man. Oh my goodness.
All right. Brother, do you have a rant for the people?
I don't have a rant for the people. I have a moment of joy to celebrate. And it's a bit, it's weird. I've been on a journey trying to do better for myself. And everybody has these what I call non-scale victories, and it's moments of things that's happening in your life that you're making progress. I list some off on my different socials, but I had one recently, and we went to a restaurant that I notoriously would not go to because I could not fit inside of the booths.
Okay.
Without my entire stomach sitting up on the table with the appetizers. Now, and let me tell you this, people. This is my people. This is for my people who are going through their own journeys in life. Maybe you haven't started your journey yet. If you are at a restaurant in which your stomach is sitting on the table right next to the salads, we might need to start to reevaluate things, just as I had to. This is something I'm going to put out there. This is something between you and me. But anyway, at the laugh, you try not to laugh, but it's real.
It's real. That's what I'm trying. But you're doing it in a funny way. But it is real. Would you say that was like your
there was
rock bottom, as it were? Okay,
it's a real thing. But Texas Roadhouse. They have the tightest booths in the business.
They do have some tight booths, though. I was going to say, there's some places where it's like, this isn't really up to code.
Yep. And I have been feeling good about myself. I was like, hey, man.
That's exciting.
I felt good. And I was like, yo, and my daughter's asked to go to Texas Roadhouse. And usually I'm just like, no, we're not going to Texas Roadhouse. We can order it from there. We're not going there. Right. I was like, yo,
You never told them why?
I never told him why.
Okay.
Never told him why. That's embarrassing. Yo, I'm too fat to fit in this booth and I can't breathe. So no, we ain't going in there. I went in there and I was able to slide in and out of that sucker. I had room between my stomach and the table.
You was sliding.
I was like, hey, it's room in here. Oh, hey. Because it was so bad. I used to have to, it's not funny, but it's funny. I can joke about it now. Me and my wife couldn't sit on the same side. I had to take my smallest child with me on my side, so there was enough room for everybody. But me and my wife sat on the same side and everything. It was a whole wonderful thing. I may be sharing too much.
No,
that's not a thing.
No, maybe this will motivate somebody.
That's not a bad thing.
That's a real thing.
Encourage someone.
Tight brew. Somebody said tight booth, fire bread, and cinnamon butter. Yes, but that bread is just crack. But anyway, that's
and when you order it to go, they give you so much bread. It's just a styrofoam thing full of those rolls. I'm not gonna lie to you. There are some rough days I had during the pandemic. I was just like, some people needed a shot. I need one of those.
You was eating bags of bread. I was just, Lord, it was just me, my bottle of wine, and a bag of.
Paying for it now, but yes.
Just need some carbs in my life.
I check this Roadhouse bread.
It's something real special about those rolls.
It is, and we're gonna find out.
It's something holy about them.
We're gonna find out down the road. Like whatever was in it was probably not a good thing. But any which way, that was just my moment. And it's like now I'm nice. Like, yo, you name the restaurant. I got my shots outside, opening back. I can sit in the booth.
They go wherever you want now.
I used to feel bad. Here's another overshare. My wife, when we used to go into restaurants, she didn't realize I don't think she knew I used to do it. I mean, I saw her doing it. She would look to me to ask, like, yo, are we sitting? They would ask, you want a table or a booth? And before I was like, table, because that's the only thing I was sitting at. I was like, booth. I was focused. I'm like, I'm gonna get inside this booth. And I was scared walking up to it. I was nervous. And so I could tell that even my wife was paying attention as I slid in the booth. She's like, hey! She got legitimately, look at you. It's funny. It shouldn't be funny, but it's funny to me. It's hilarious anyway. But that's where I am today. Just to my people out there, you on the grind, doing what you gotta do, take care of yourself, find your non-scale victories and your NSVs, as I call them, and keep it rocking. Yo.
Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I had no idea what NSV was.
Yes, sir.
I saw Natalie put in the chat. I was like, okay, I'll just one things I'll understand by and by. Then you said it. Thank you. Well, congratulations, man. That's amazing.
Appreciate
That's really exciting.
Awesome, Dr. T, what tea do you have for the people?
I don't have any tea. I'm not at home, so I've been real semi-vacation mode. So okay. I don't have any tea. I will probably have some before we go on our little hiatus. I haven't been watching the news. I feel so much better. I mean, I've been answering my emails, sort of, but I haven't been watching the news. I haven't been listening to the news. I just feel real light and nice.
While she don't got no tea, let me say one thing. This isn't really a rant. This is just a stand I'm taking.
Okay.
So let me tell y'all this. I'm double tapped up. I got my 5G chip in me. I got my vax. I'm finding that I'm having a trouble adjusting back out to life in public as I'm trying to get back there. So let me make a declaration. I'm out here. I'm dapping up and I'm handshaking. I'm back to doing what I do. I'm back to dapping up. I'm back to hugging. If you feel so comfortable, that's where I am at now, because I've had several awkward interactions with folks where I didn't know where people were at, and so I go, hey, and then somebody came in I was like, oh, and I didn't know, and so it was very awkward like it just happened 3 times. It was like for a legitimate 5-10 seconds a piece. We just didn't know how to greet each other. And so I said, I'm not doing this no more. And so, hey, if pre-COVID we were on a hugging basis, we back to hugging. If pre-COVID we were on a dap it up basis, we're back to dapping it up. Now, for those of you who are in neither of those statuses, that does not mean you get to jump to either a hug or a dap status. If I'm a nod head, we still nodding head. I don't know you like that still.
Okay? But it's been so long. Clear. It's been you got.
But I just need to be clear with people. We back to where our basics are. And guess what? If you're not sure what status we are, that means we were at a head nod status. That's where we
Here's the thing, though, with that. I am going to be sort of a mask lifer.
Okay.
I appreciate, and it may not seem like it, I really am a private person.
I can understand
and
that.
I appreciate the privacy of the mask.
Privacy.
I appreciate people not knowing it's me. Now, the unfortunate thing is because people know my hair.
Right.
And I guess my height, like usually they know it's me. They're like, Tamika. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'll start pretending like I don't know people, but
so you in with the mask, huh?
Yep.
Are you also going to patrol the streets of Gotham?
Batman, wow.
I'm keeping my mask, and people should feel okay if they want to keep their mask. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be awkward. Like I'm not going to be I'm not eating in restaurants yet though, but I will keep my mask on for, my regulars. I will say this one thing. I was at the grocery store today and I'm in an area that's not predominantly white, but it's not predominantly Black either. And you know what I recognize?
Talk to me.
Social distancing and what counts as personal space. The metric for that is cultural.
Talk to this, sis. Talk to this.
Because I went to the grocery store in like the middle of the day. So it wasn't a lot of people in there. I turned around and I had on my mask, but my eyes probably did all the cursing for me because this brother, his wife said something to him. I believe in Spanish. And then he backed up because I was like, the dude was bagging my groceries. Oh, I love it down here. They bag your groceries and they will put them in your car for you.
Okay.
But so the dude was talking to me about my groceries. He's being sweet. And then so, I'm trying to pay for my thing. Why are you right here? The dude was right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is a cultural thing. And I just feel like, I don't know, like, I think as Black folk, we were always sort of socially distant if we didn't know you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like we just learned that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not, I have been at some parties, and this is how you know if people have had one too many at the Christmas party. Oh. They start here, then they're here. And it's okay.
Yep. Hey, man. Hey, I just want to say it's been a great year. I really appreciate everything.
They're right here.
I said, hey, player. Hey, appreciate.
This is intimate now. Like, I know what kind of toothpaste you use or not.
Or don't.
It's too intimate.
Yeah.
Back up.
Hey, let me touch on this real quick. This is an unintentional rant. Let me get Sister Natalie James's last comment on there. No, not last one, but the people done showed their natural behinds of all this vaccine and mask stuff. I'll keep mine. Thank you. Hashtag can't trust it. Let me say this. I don't believe people should be made to feel like a villain if you are making decisions about whether or not you're ready to get the vaccine or not. I just, as long as people are being safe and they're being smart, they're maintaining their social distancing, keeping their mask on, people shouldn't be made to feel one way or another about it. Especially, like, I ain't gonna lie to you, Black folks do this. Man, boy, you still got that mask on, boy? Take that mask off, boy. You know me. Come here, hug my neck. Like, as we move into the summer, yeah, I got
my neck.
You ain't never heard that?
I have. That's how I'm laughing.
The first time I had somebody tell me to hug their neck, this was a solidly built woman. Like, she was about 6'2", and she hit the weight room. Okay, come here, boy, hug my neck. You know,
yes,
me. Yes, ma'am.
To my sisters who lived.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. I say, okay, but hey, as people are being safe and they have made a decision that they want to keep their mask on, don't ridicule them. You know what I'm saying? Give them their space, people, and let them have what they need to do. And be careful who you're talking about, because you don't know around you who may have got the vaccine and who may not have. And people out here,
and a lot of people didn't get it.
Right?
Y'all, they keep talking about how many people have got it. What is it, like half of the eligible people or something like that? That means there's tens of millions of people who are not vaccinated.
And kids just became eligible. Teenagers, I should say.
Right. And so you never know. And then you never know who people are living with and all that kind of thing. So there is, to your point, Dre, we are about to be going into some very awkward social air. Like, this is going to be weird. But we just have to, hang on and remember. But what I'm saying is, I think that it'll be weirder for you depending on what your norm was
beforehand.
And I think for some of us, like, Black people naturally social distance.
Right.
Unless we know you. We don't even eat, like, Black people legit will not eat unpackaged food unless we know something about the people who brought it. We don't just eat stuff out the lunchroom.
Who made the potato salad?
Who made this?
Who made this?
Where did this come from? Unless it's like, now I might mess with some Girl Scout cookies or something like that. But generally speaking, we avoid communal food that's not prepackaged unless we know the source of it.
And we can, I mean, because it's like, because you will, let's be honest, if we take it back to the potlucks, like you had to some type of potluck, you need to know who made what just to understand what exactly may be in that bowl. For instance, if I've seen, I'm gonna be careful what name if I see Lucy walk in and she done brought something in, but I look at Lucy every day and I see nothing but cat and dog hair all over her. And I'm gonna be like, what did Lucy bring in?
And it's always something weird. Like, excuse me. This is weird to me. Zucchini bread. Why is that a thing?
But it's not that bad though. But yeah, I don't know.
I ain't gonna disrespect zucchini bread.
It's not bad.
I understand.
If you gonna bring something in, why can't you bring in like chocolate chip cookies or like brownies?
Because that's what they
People
do.
bring in something so specific.
Let me ask you
to meetings, I've been like, what is this? I can't even pronounce the stuff that they pass it around.
There's a stereotype that I put out there and I share with people, and I want to see maybe I was off. Do black people do angel food cake?
I have never had a black person's angel food cake.
We do pound cake.
Yes.
Okay. I said
we don't do nothing that light. We got sugar on butter on sugar.
And one time I had to break this down. We were in a lunch setting and they broke down the angel food cake, and I just started laughing. They're like, I was like, they're like, you want some? I said, nah. Black people don't do.
They were just eating plain angel food cake.
No, we do pound cake, chocolate cake.
Did they put like strawberries and like whipped cream on it? Oh my gosh, that sounds awful.
It was a fresh angel food cake, and people was happy. I was like, we do pound cake. We don't do angel food cake. Like, that's not us. And I realized as I said it, because I said this, let me be clear. I realized I said this at work. And so to make that type of stereotype written statement in my position can be somewhat
against the rules.
Yeah, it's a little shaky. But I don't think I was wrong. Like, I haven't had anybody really just say, yeah, I as a black person,
hilarious.
Do angel food cake. And if your people do, that's true, Derek. We also do 7-Up cake. Now, and let me
Derek swears by this 7-Up cake.
Can we talk about the difference? The difference. What is
There's
the
7-Up in it?
Right. But is it the same other ingredients as pound cake, but it just got 7-Up in it?
It tastes different.
It tastes different.
And usually in my experience, 7-Up cake is iced at the end.
Okay.
And pound cake, I think, generally isn't.
Have you ever had an iced pound cake?
I have.
Yes.
I'm about to say, because I can put
but usually a 7-Up cake is in that bunt shape.
Yeah.
Right. You use the bunt pan, and pound cake you usually don't. It's usually a loaf situation.
See,
sometimes it's a full cake, but sometimes it's a loaf situation.
I grew up with a bunt for my pound cakes. My mama make a
pound cake. Okay.
To my mama, but she also makes a 7-Up cake, and I'll be like, it's different. I'll be expecting. My mouth is set for a pound bite, but then I get a 7-Up bite, and it's just like I was thrown off. I'm sorry, we got too.
We're all off. Thank you. Derek just explained to me about proximity. He said when he hooped in Mexico, we were told to take up most of the space between the next person and any line we were in, or someone would cut in.
Okay.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
That's not the rule here, so we have to adjust. Give me my space in the Publix line. Thank you.
All right. This is all real things. I don't know how we got here. I forget, but just thank y'all for
get anywhere.
Going for me on this journey.
Thanks, neighbors.
I'm a baker.
The neighbors enjoyed it. They were into it. Anytime you talk about food, they start going in.
Joyce, Sarah Lee, we're gonna introduce you to some different. I don't bake, but I'm sure somebody I go to church with can kill a pound cake.
Oh no, Miss Vicky.
And this is the perfect complement to
whatever you're gonna give us.
A cup of Rothrock coffee.
Yeah.
And so we can make this happen, Joyce. Rothrock, pound cake, and not Sarah Lee. We're gonna do. It'll be good.
Can I ask a question? See, this is the last.
Here we go.
Last bad boy question I got for the day. Somebody mentioned a cobbler.
Derek.
It is my belief that a cobbler has to have a crust on the bottom and the top.
Yes.
In order to be considered a cobbler.
That's correct.
I got people out here running around with only having crusts on the top.
That's called a dump cake.
That they've been calling a cobbler.
No.
And I feel that's a violation of protocols.
That is.
But I just wanted to be sure that's just not my fat boy reasoning, but that there are other people out there who understand this. A cobbler has it on the top and the bottom of the crust.
Yes. If it's something just on the top, that's called dump cake.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the more that something becomes shared by different people remix it. And so that's why.
Okay.
Food is very cultural, but it's also regional within cultures.
That's a whole different thing. We can get into that. Because somebody's fried fish from different parts of the country is very different. It's a whole different thing.
That's right.
How do you get the fried fish?
I'm just saying I know. Look at ribs. Ribs, depending upon where you at. Wet, dry. You know what I'm saying? More of a vinegary, more of a sweet.
If you do a beef rib, a pork rib.
There's a lot
happening. A short rib.
Are you taking the membrane off or you're not taking the membrane? Cliff, there's a lot happening here. We're going. Okay, I'm done. I'm done, brother. Go ahead.
It's all right. It's all right. I can get down with some ribs.
That sounds so good.
Telling y'all, ribs in a slow cooker. It's the best.
That's what I heard.
Slow, brother. Low and slow.
The best. They fall off the bone.
And easy, right?
Easy. Super easy.
Hard to mess them up.
Ribs in a slow cooker. All right. Y'all good? Y'all got something else y'all want to talk about?
It's the neighbors. They were just saying stuff, and I felt I had to respond, but I'm good now. I'm done.
Okay, because now neighbors are going in about catfish and spaghetti and wings.
We got wings. There's a whole lot happening here.
Oh man! All right.
Catfish was.
You sure you good?
I got questions, but I don't want to start us down the whole path.
What Barbara said?
No.
Wait.
I
thought she said Dusty. Okay.
What Chris said. I've seen plates of it on the internet and I don't understand it.
Y'all never had that?
Yeah, I've had it. Spaghetti is a side to a lot of people.
I don't understand that. I guess.
The spaghetti is a side?
Yeah, spaghetti's a meal.
People will use spaghetti.
It is, but it's also like macaroni and cheese is a meal to some people and a side to others. Spaghetti is the same way.
Yeah.
To some, but that's a more old school thing. We generally, I think, as a people, don't eat like that anymore. But we shouldn't.
But there are people spaghetti just.
We shouldn't be, but yeah,
people eat fried chicken and spaghetti.
Meat on meat.
Fried chicken spaghetti. I don't get that. I don't. Okay. And I guess, as you put it, if I can consider macaroni and cheese a side, I should be able to consider spaghetti a side. So you are correct. Yes.
Yeah, it is a side to some people.
I do not consider mac and cheese a meal. I've never understood that. I don't care how much lobster you put in it. That's still not the main part of the meal. I got the lobster mac and cheese. Where's the meat? Because that's not it. I'm sorry. I'm done. Sorry. We're ready to move.
Lobster mac and cheese. I love macaroni and cheese. Lobster mac and cheese. I could do without.
I agree. It's a different thing.
Yeah. Different beast altogether.
Yeah. Completely. It compromises the integrity of the mac and cheese.
It does. Those flavors are fighting. I agree with you, Cliff.
Not to say it's nasty. I could do without it.
I agree.
Oh man, we this is going
because it's not best with the macaroni elbow pasta. That's best with more of like what is it, ziti?
Ooh, I was
that
thinking
sort of
I'm just saying, if macaroni and cheese is good, it can just stand on its own.
right.
It doesn't need any help from.
But yeah, when you put lobster in it, you start to do different things to it to make it go together.
See, people are getting me mad. I'm gonna be quiet. Go ahead.
You talking about Richard and the Chick-fil-A nugget?
Put this on the screen real quick. Hey, let me address this. I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. I had this discussion with my mother. It may have gotten a little louder. I love my mother. I apologize. Y'all gonna quit going around here acting like this Chick-fil-A mac and cheese is a real mac and cheese. Stop that. No, I refuse. I bind it up. I cast it out in the name of Jesus. No.
It's just it's the better fast food mac and cheese. It's better than what's out there.
People have been so serious about this.
It's good.
Somebody,
it's not like your mama made it, but it's good.
It's better than stuff you get at school.
Yeah.
And it's not as
better
good
than
like
KFC,
homemade, but it's better than any other restaurant, fast food restaurant.
There was somebody's family gathering. I'm not gonna put them out there. All I know is the mac and cheese wasn't getting made, but they went and bought the industrial size from Chick-fil-A. Went and took it out the dish, put it in one of their dishes, and called it a wrap.
Didn't we just say you can't sub out the side? You can sub out the fried chicken. But
that's all I'm saying.
You can't outsource the macaroni and cheese.
And when I found out, I said I shall not partake.
I would give you a pass if that happened during the pandemic.
Maybe they didn't have time.
What I can't. I'm not gonna give nothing away.
He said it was, so we'll give them a pass.
Yes,
but I'm just saying.
All right,
never again.
People are not exiting. We've had enough of our talk of our rhetoric.
We're done.
All right, y'all. We do this show every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern right here on Facebook and YouTube. So if you want to check out the show live, we appreciate it. You can go to the YouTube page or Facebook. If you can't, you can always watch the show on demand. Go to turntneighbor.com for all the ways you can watch or listen on demand, whether it's the podcast, YouTube, Facebook, Business Bully TV, lots of different ways for you to check out the show. If you can't watch on demand, you can watch on demand anytime you want. So middle of the night, whenever. Listen on your way to work or whenever you want. We appreciate any way that you watch and listen because you could be doing a lot of other stuff, but you chose to hang with us. So we are very happy and we appreciative. Thank you very much. To the neighbors, thank you everybody who commented and hung out with us live today. We really appreciate all the comments and interacting with us. Y'all got anything else? All right, neighbors. We love y'all. Until next time, take care. Be blessed. Peace.
Joyce, you're gonna hear from us, Joyce. You're gonna hear from us, peace. But Joyce, holla.
Joyce, they coming for you, Joyce. You better
breakfast sandwiches at Rothrock. I'm over breakfast sandwich, guys.
Joyce, that Chinese food gonna have to live up to the billing now.
Joyce, Joyce, we coming for all.
I can literally see their mouths watering.
You better bring the food and the coffee, everything. Joyce, we gonna see you.
Oh goodness. All right, neighbors. Peace.